Hey everybody, here's part two to the first one here. Just getting down to the driving range, and yeah, I did exactly what I thought was embarrass myself. So it is what it is. Not good at this sport at all. So do it for fun. Now part two kind of is here that I got to tell myself a lot too, and I had to tell to myself a lot at the very beginning, getting back into racing, was you're gonna run into bad nights. You think you have your setup perfect, you think you got it made, you think you have tires set, and you go out there and it just does not work. You sit down, you're fighting, you're trying to figure out what you're doing wrong. Then you sit back, nothing's going right, nothing works out. I've learned that you learn a lot more when stuff doesn't go right and when everything goes perfect. It seems like it's you're never going to have that perfect setup. Like, we've won 4 so far this year, and every time we won, we've changed something from the last time we won, and we get a little bit faster. It's never going to be perfect, but don't sit there and think just because you had a bad night, something happened, went in the back, that you're not learning something. This past weekend, I think I had the fastest cart out there. And this is the other thing I had to tell Ethan, the guy who was leading it all the way to the end. Don't assume we went in there. Everybody was like, oh, we can't hold off Matt. Don't ever assume that someone's instantly going to take it just because they've been the fastest lately. Don't ever sit back and think that something can happen to them like it did with me. I was irritated that it happened, but I learned something a little bit there this weekend. When I got kind of the hyper focus concept of trying to catch back up, I learned a better line to run. It made me a heck of a lot faster. So what I'm trying to get at, I think, is don't sit back and think just because your night went bad that you didn't learn something, you didn't get nothing productive out of it. You learned what you shouldn't do. If anything, that's what it is. You learned what you shouldn't do. You learned what didn't work. You go back, you sit down at the trailer, truck, car, whatever you got there, sit down, write down. Guys, I have a notebook full of what we did that night. I put down stagger, I put down tire pressure, I put down track conditions, temperature, stuff like that. I put the date down, I put the uphill I drew, how many carts, stuff like that. It's all little data that you sit down, I sit down, I look at it, and throughout the week I'll sit down and think about what could I have done different? What could I have done to make this faster? What could I have done to make this better? I'm lucky enough where I can get a call up Dad and bounce ideas off of his head and of, hey, how about we try this? Maybe, do you think that'll work? That, and I got other people, George and Nate and Kevin and Justin, those boys, I give those guys a call and to get stuff figured out. And it just, sometimes it goes great for a weekend, and that next weekend you go out there thinking you're going to do the exact same thing. Track conditions a hair different, hair dustier, grips a little bit more, tire preps off. Our big thing right now, we got our setup, I think. Our biggest thing is tires, trying to figure those out, and I'm getting them dialed in, I think, finally. After 3 years, dude, it took me 3 years of getting our butts smacked to be where I am today. 3 to 4, no, it's actually 4 years now. We went from, very first year me and Scott jumped into it, we went from being lapped twice in the feature to the very next year only getting lapped once. Very next year we're actually mid-pack. This year, I was mid-pack last year, then we got the new frame, and then he's able to keep me up front. And this year I'm up front most of the time, not all the time. But that's the thing, guys. You learn. You're not going to walk into the sport and start being amazing. little tips, tricks, stuff like that, man, you'd be amazed. So don't sit back and think that you're going to sit there and going to win every night. I kind of got that in my head this past weekend, and I had slapped myself upside the head for that one. Told myself that you're not going to win every single one. But you also got to sit back and think bad nights. It wasn't even a bad night for me. It was just a stupid situation I got into. You learn from those. You learn how somebody drives. You learn how the track condition changed it, how it changed from practice clear to the feature. So never sit back and think that a bad night of racing did not get you any information. So people can take that for what it is. That's what I believe, and go on from there, guys. So, see ya.